Hello. So I'm Ingrid. This is Chelsea, Leanne, and Monica. And we own a product design consultancy in New York City called The Way We See the World. And we all met at Parsons School of Design and started our company about 2 years ago. And from the moment we started, we had one goal: to make the world the way we see it. We wanted to have a positive impact by doing what we love. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. But first, I want to walk you through a couple of our projects and just give you a little bit about our background. So we have several ways of working. One is as a consultancy. So one of the first projects we ever did was actually for Pepsi to help them fill their innovation pipeline. And we worked with across multiple platforms. We did packaging, soda, water, and energy. And we ended up coming up with a lot of healthy and sustainable ideas for new packaging, but also for new drinks. And aside from being a consultancy, we also produce some of our own products, like Block-It. So as we all know, it's become common behavior to put our cell phones on the table. And this is incredibly distracting. We're not engaged with the people around us. And yes, we could simply turn our phones off, but this is actually really, really hard to do. So we need a new tool to help start a brand new etiquette. So Block-It is made out of a smart material that actually blocks phone signals. So by simply wrapping your phone up, the signal is blocked. And it's really just a way of helping us take a break from our phones to fully be present for life and for the people around us. And another product of our own that we're actually launching this summer in New York City is called Lollyware, which are edible cups. And these are biodegradable. They're a sustainable alternative to disposable cups. And they're actually flavored to complement whatever drink is being served. So for instance, we have a margarita in a salty lime cup, or an old-fashioned in a bitters cup. And they're vegan, 100% natural. They're much more fun and obviously more delicious than other cups.
Thank you, Ingrid. So those were a few of our projects to show you what we do, but now we want to talk about why we do it. See the world as it is. See the world better than it is. Make the world the way you see it. This quote really embodies why we started this company to begin with. We really believe in challenging ourselves to imagine the potential for what the world could be and then attempting to make it that way. So when thinking about this idea, we really believe it's about combining passion with experimentation. Passion is so important because when you love what you do, you excel at it. And when you experiment, you are open to the opportunities, and you're also open to the path that gets you there. More specifically, passion, it's so integral to making the world the way you see it, because you naturally work harder when you believe in what you're doing. And therefore, the outcome is always much more compelling. So it's always really important to be passionate and just to love what you do. An inspirational organization for us in terms of speaking about passion is definitely Hot Bread Kitchen, which is an incubator in Harlem. And they incubate young food businesses, and will actually be producing Lollyware there this summer. But more importantly, they employ immigrant women to bake their traditional bread. So you preserve these baking practices, and you empower women to, run enterprises and to become managers, and it's a really amazing organization. In terms of our own work, as Ingrid mentioned, the Block-It is pretty exemplary for an issue that we are passionate about in terms of really taking breaks from technology and turning off your phone to say goodbye, however you want to say it, but it's really about saying hello to the world around you and taking breaks from technology, and this is really an issue that we're passionate about. So along with passion, we've also found experimentation to be a necessary part of making the world the way we see it. And to us, experimentation is just as much about setting the goal as it is about the process. We saw a few weeks ago this man, Simon Sinek, speak, and he made this analogy. You're standing in a room, and you point to the corner, and you tell the person next to you to walk in a straight line. And they start walking, and you put a chair in front of them, and they stop, and they don't have anywhere else to go. The next person comes in the room, and instead you say, walk to that corner. They start walking, and you put a chair in front of them, and they stop for a moment, and then they walk around the chair, and they find their way to the corner. So their goal is accomplished. And what we took away from this was that if you take the time to really think about and figure out what your goal actually is, what it really is that you're trying to accomplish, then you can be infinitely creative about how to get there. So as Ingrid told you, the goal of our company is not to make edible cups, and it's not to block everybody's cell phone signal, and it's not to be a design consultancy. It's to make the world the way we see it. But it kind of took us a while to come to this realization, and our process with Lollyware was kind of what made us really question what is our goal as a company. And it also taught us to value the flexibility to experiment with not just what our products could be, but also what our company could be. Lollyware was the first project that we did together the first month we were working as a team, as a company. And we were, at the time, clientless, so we decided to start entering a bunch of different competitions to build up our portfolio and to have something to do. So Lollyware was an entry to the Jell-O mold competition, and we called it Jell-O-ware at the time. So we entered in this contest as this fun thing to do, and afterward, a lot of stuff started happening that we didn't expect to happen. We got some press on blogs, and we started getting a lot of interest in where people could buy this cup. And this was kind of a dilemma for us because we had set out with the idea of just doing client work and just being a consultancy, and we didn't really think that we wanted to make our own products. But we kept getting emails every day, where can I buy this cup? And we just saw that people were so excited about it that we really wanted to take advantage of this opportunity. Meanwhile, Kraft is sending us a cease and desist for calling it Jell-O-ware. And we tried all these different things. We tried to sell the idea to Wonka, the candy company. And after all of this experimentation, we finally decided that the best way to bring Lollyware to market was to produce it ourselves. And now we're a bunch of product designers turned candy makers, and we never really expected to be here, but we're having so much fun doing it.
Along with experimentation and being open to greater opportunities comes a lot of uncertainty and fear. But you have to embrace it. So one example of when actually not knowing what we were doing helped us is about 2 years ago when we first started our company. We didn't really know what to do, so we started looking for clients without having any idea of how to actually go about doing that. We emailed the CEO of Pepsi, Inder Nui, asking if we could do a project for them. And to our surprise, they wrote back. So after we stopped freaking out over excitement over this, we had to figure out what to do. They invited us up to give a capabilities presentation, and we had to Google what a capabilities presentation actually was. So we went up to Pepsi's headquarters in Purchase, New York, and we gave what we thought a capabilities presentation was, where we served Lollyware flavored with Pepsi, Mountain Dew, and Sierra Mist, and they hired us. And so we got to do this really fun project with them, and at the end of our final presentation, Francois Bazzini, who is one of the senior directors of innovation there, had this to say about us. We work with other agencies all the time who come up with interesting concepts that are consumer-centric, but you stand out because your concepts are infused with happiness. We were so flattered after we heard this, and it became clear to us that producing good work is not necessarily about knowing exactly what you're doing, but about being passionate and being willing to figure it out along the way. And even not knowing the correct way to do something can lead you to come up with more interesting solutions and more creative outcomes.
So we've been talking a lot about how passion and experimentation pervades our business, but we also believe that these two things are a way of thinking and an approach to life as well. So not just business, but life. And it's about envisioning a world and trying to make it that way. And ultimately bringing these two components into your life can help you, help us make the world the way we see it. So we would like, to ask, why not? Why not make the world the way we see it? Thank you.